There comes a moment, often quiet and unannounced, when a man begins to wonder whether the markers of his appeal have shifted into something he can no longer measure with a mirror. A moment when he notices that the truest signs of his attractiveness aren't found in the sharpness of his jawline or the symmetry of his features, but in something far deeper, something that glows from within, something that hums through every gesture, every breath, every step he takes through the world. It's a subtle curiosity that drifts through the mind as time moves forward, the kind of thought that doesn't arrive with fireworks but with a steady whisper, asking whether the reflection staring back at him has ever been the full story. Because maybe, just maybe, the most magnetic presence is born not from youth, not from perfection, but from a kind of energy that is carved over years, an energy shaped by experience, by heartache, by resilience, by lessons learned the long and difficult way. And if he listens closely to his life, he might discover that he's been carrying signs of this magnetism without even realizing it. Imagine walking into an ordinary moment, a cafe, a grocery store, a workplace, and noticing that younger women seem strangely comfortable in your presence. Not in an obvious, exaggerated way, but in the gentle softening of their voices, the ease in their shoulders, the small brightening of their eyes when you speak. You aren't posing or performing or trying to win favor. You are simply there, grounded in your own quiet way, and yet something about that stillness draws them in. A cashier lingers for an extra moment, sharing a detail she didn't need to tell you. A colleague seems to settle emotionally when you enter a room, as though your presence alone steadies something in her. A friend's younger relative listens a little more attentively than expected, leaning in as if you're offering not just words but calm. It's never dramatic. It's never loud. It's an unspoken recognition of safety, of steadiness, of grounded masculine energy that doesn't demand attention yet effortlessly earns it. And it's in those moments you start to understand that women, especially younger ones, often respond not to how you look in the most superficial sense, but to how you make them feel. Seen without pressure, heard without expectation, relaxed without needing to guard themselves. It's a quiet magnetism born from an inner foundation you've spent years unknowingly building. And then there are the compliments, the ones that land softly but consistently. Someone notices the watch you chose that morning, drawn to the understated elegance of it. Another remarks on your cologne, not because it overwhelms the air, but because it leaves just enough of an impression to spark curiosity. Someone else mentions your haircut, or the way your shirt fits, or the subtle refinement of your style. These aren't shallow observations. They are acknowledgments. They are signals that your self-respect is visible, that the care you take with yourself is being noticed. As men mature, their style becomes more than clothing. It becomes a form of silent communication. Every detail, a well-selected fragrance, a clean pair of shoes, a neatly pressed jacket, whispers something about the way you value yourself. It shows intention, effort, presence. It's not about luxury or perfection. It's about the quiet dignity of a man who chooses to show up well, not for validation, but because he knows he's worth the effort. And people sense that. They're drawn to it in ways they may not even articulate. The compliments become reflections, not of vanity, but of the respect you carry for your own life. But perhaps the most revealing moments come from the eyes. The sustained glance that lingers just a heartbeat longer than it needs to. You might be standing in line, sipping coffee at a table, walking through a park, or simply existing in your own world when you catch a woman's gaze. Not just a glance, but a brief, suspended moment that seems to slow the air between you. Her eyes meet yours, and instead of darting away in polite avoidance, they hold. That tiny pause, fractions of a second, speaks a language older than words. It is curiosity, it is interest, it is recognition. It is the acknowledgement of your presence, your energy, your quiet confidence. The look doesn't cling to any single feature. It takes in the whole of you. The way you stand, the steadiness in your posture, the calm written across your face, the aura you project without even trying. And in that fleeting connection, something passes between you, a subtle, primal signal that says you are seen, not for your youth or perfection, but for an essence that stands on its own. Then there are the moments when people, sometimes unexpectedly, begin coming to you for insight. They ask your thoughts on relationships, on work decisions, on personal dilemmas they're navigating. They trust your judgment, not because you claim superiority, but because you emanate wisdom that seems lived rather than memorized. People sense that you have lived through things that reshaped you, softened you, sharpened you. They feel the steadiness in the way you respond. You don't rush. You don't react impulsively. You consider. You weigh. You speak with a calm that is rare in a frantic world. It's not that you have all the answers. It's that you bring clarity, grounding, perspective. That kind of presence is magnetic in its own right, because it reflects emotional depth, an understanding that grew not from theory, but from lived experience. And others, consciously or not, feel drawn to that anchor. Your presence itself begins to shift. You no longer need to announce your confidence. It simply exists within you. You don't try to take up space. You naturally inhabit it. Your movements are slower, more deliberate, more assured. There's no rush to prove anything. No anxiety in the background begging for reassurance. This calm doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from acceptance. You've lived enough life to know who you are and who you're not. You've carried enough weight to recognize what matters and what doesn't. And that kind of energy is powerful in a way that doesn't demand attention, but commands respect. People feel it when you walk into a room. A quiet steadiness, an ease, an absence of frantic need. You bring a sense of order with you simply by existing. That composure is far more attractive than any dramatic display because it offers something rare, peace in human form. And sometimes you hear comments about your vitality, ones you may have brushed off at first. Someone tells you that you have a strong presence, or that you seem surprisingly energetic, or that you carry yourself with a kind of physical ease they don't see often. These remarks are not about how heavy you lift or whether you have a perfectly sculpted body. They are about the energy in your step, the uprightness of your posture, the life in your eyes. They're about the way you move as though you are connected to your body, not fighting against it. This vitality comes from discipline, from consistency, from a commitment to taking care of yourself, not out of vanity, but out of respect for the life you want to live. And women notice it. They sense a man who is alive, engaged, present, a man who intends to keep living fully. Then there is the simple, effortless laughter you create in others, especially women. When you tell a story, even one without a punchline, and they laugh, truly laugh, it is not the humor itself that matters. It is the connection behind it. Laughter is a sign of comfort, of chemistry, of emotional synchronicity. It reveals that they feel good around you. They feel open. They feel themselves. A man who can carry humor gently, without ego, without trying to compete for attention, radiates emotional intelligence. He shows he can be playful without needing to be the center of the universe. He can bring lightness without losing depth. That balance of seriousness and humor, of strength and softness, is intoxicating. And if you look closely, you might notice even subtler signals, the refined, delicate gestures that speak softly, yet unmistakably. A woman plays lightly with her necklace while listening to you, unknowingly revealing her curiosity. She mirrors your posture, leaning when you lean, crossing her arms when you do. She tucks her hair behind her ear, her fingers brushing her neck in a way that draws attention even when she doesn't intend it. Her smile seems crafted specifically for you, lingering with an almost shy warmth. Maybe she touches your arm in passing, just enough to feel the proximity, just enough to test the space between you. These gestures are not clumsy or overt. They are elegant, intentional, intuitive. They're the language of mature attraction, where words are no longer the only tool. Everything becomes subtler, more meaningful. She is signaling interest through presence, through attention, through energy. And the moment you begin to notice these understated cues, you realize that attraction has become a quiet, constant dialogue happening beneath the surface of daily life. All of these signs, softened glances, lingering smiles, intuitive gestures, the trust others place in you, the ease you bring into a room, point toward a profound truth. Your value is not fading. It is evolving. What once might have been defined by youthful charm has transformed into something deeper, more substantial. more commanding. The magnetism you carry now is rooted not in the temporary shine of youth, but in the enduring glow of character. You have become someone defined not by appearance alone, but by presence, by wisdom, by emotional steadiness, by a life lived with intention. And perhaps without realizing it, the world has been responding to that evolution. So now, pause for a moment. Not in doubt, but in recognition. Think about the ways people have responded to you recently. Think about the conversations, the glances, the praise, the laughter, the subtle gestures, the quiet moments of connection you may have dismissed or overlooked. These are not coincidences. They are reflections. They are reminders. They are signals that you have stepped into a version of yourself that carries weight, quiet confidence, emotional depth, and magnetic presence. And the most compelling part? This energy will only continue to grow as you do. Because real attraction, real masculine presence, does not live in youth. It lives in truth. It lives in the calm you've earned, the perspective you've gained, the strength you've built, the wisdom you now offer effortlessly. You are becoming, perhaps without realizing it, the kind of man who leaves an impact, not by force, but by presence. And the world feels it, even if you haven't yet.